Ilya Nabokov is the most curious goalie of recent memory in more ways than one. If you pay attention to the NHL draft, you have likely heard of the Colorado second round pick in the 2024 draft being the first goalie taken off the board. He's so intriguing because Nabokov is an unprecedented 21-year-old goalie 3 years removed from his original draft year. This is nearly unheard of, especially being picked as high as the second round. He was picked so high due to his stellar season in the top Russian Pro League, the KHL. Nabokov played as a starter for Metalurg, where a spectacular 930 save percentage won him KHL Rookie of the Year. He would then elevate his play even further in the playoffs, posting a 942 save percentage in 23 games en route to a Gagarin Cup win and KHL playoff MVP. These incredible accolades and his prolific first pro season suggest that Nabokov is one of the best goalies in the world who's not in the NHL. His speed and agility are world class. There's an adage that your feet can't beat a puck in motion, but there's always an exception, and Nabokov is the one for this. His powerful and compact stance allows him to make explosive movements, particularly T-pushes, to beat out passes. Along the ice, he's a rock star as well. His recoveries on rebounds are top-notch. He uses outlandish joint mobility and flexibility to move in ridiculous situations and can make these same explosive movements at a butterfly. His flexibility gives him a wide range of possibilities along the post. He's able to cover both posts with his legs in comfortable position and quickly push off the post with power. Best complementary attribute to fantastic mobility is great play reading and anticipation. You can tell that Nabokov is a high level pro by the way he's constantly making scans and how quickly he reacts to plays that he anticipates. Speed is one of his identities, and not many can do it better than he. In his first play, Nabokov starts in an RVH with the puck behind the net and makes a scan to center ice. He gains his feet as the play moves above the goal line for better mobility. When the pass is made to the middle, Nabokov uses a double C cut to get to the top of the crease milliseconds after the shooter makes his first touch on the puck. His lightning quick speed allowed him to be aggressive and get to the top of the crease before the shot even happened. A slower goalie would have settled for a mid to high crease to be set before the shot in that same situation. Since he's already fully squared to the shot as it's releasing, Nabokov turns it aside like it's a routine play. On the PK, with danger in front of the crease, a blocked shot causes Nabokov to go down prematurely. He quickly regains his feet, but is now in a low and wide stance. Because the play isn't tight, it gives him an advantage down low, but puts him at serious risk of a pass in the circle. A low stance is nearly impossibly immobile due to your edges being practically parallel to the ice and not having the power to push laterally. Unless if you're Ilya Nabokov, of course. He manages to hold his edges in an extreme position and makes what could have easily been a wide open goal look like it was Sunday brunch. The play starts behind the goal line with Nabokov making a good seal in an RVH. The carry then sends a very quick backdoor pass that would normally be a surefire goal. Nabokov, being the freak athlete he is, tracks the puck, projecting his glove and extending his leg to the post to eliminate the bottom half of the net. The rebound comes out to the slot, and using his foot off the post, he explodes to the top of the crease to completely extinguish all hopes of the opponents, making an unbelievable sequence of saves. Nabokov starts his play in really good positioning. He's square to the puck carrier, but deep enough to either play the post for a low pass or shuffle over for a slot pass. The pass moves down low, where he drops into an RVH to seal that option and swings his lead leg back in anticipation of a slot pass. The pass comes, and he quickly pushes off the post, extending his leg to reach the other post, and eliminates the bottom half of the net, where he makes an easy save. Off the face-off, an immediate one-touch pass forces Nabokov to travel the furthest a goalie has to laterally from his 45 to the other. He uses an explosive T-push to cut deep through the crease to minimize travel time, and uses it to pop into a set position at the top of the crease. Even if the pass wasn't inaccurate and a clean one-timer was made, Nabokov had beaten the pass effortlessly, but it came with a hitch. His explosive speed sacrifices precision in the long movements such as this, despite them looking so crisp. He's off angle to the puck, and as it moves to Nabokov's left, he makes an unnecessary shuffle to track the play and stay square, but in reality, he moves farther out of position. Luckily, the shot's inaccurate, and it lets him off easy. This is Nabokov's downfall and his second worst identity. Nabokov struggles mightily with consistently being angled correctly to the shot. It happens in two different cases, when he's setting up for a direct shot or after he makes an explosive movement, the latter being more prominent. Two cases mean there are two separate problems, and in the first case, Nabokov often engages late to the puck carrier, as in he tends to first get set when the player is already around the top of the circle. He also doesn't do himself any favors with how compact his stance is. Typically, this wouldn't be much of a factor if he was square to the puck, but being off angle accentuates how small he is and opens up a lot of net. He often overcompensates on his short side, and it causes him to get beat cleanly low far side. In the case of movement, Nabokov opts for a T push about 95% of the time. He T pushes an unnecessary amount when a shuffle is much more preferred. While he travels swiftly, he doesn't do so with precision. He focuses so much on speed that he will overshoot the proper angle and struggles to set his feet after his movement. Frequently, he doesn't stop moving after T pushing over, causing his momentum to carry him away from his save. In this play, Nabokov starts by being off angle to the shot, leaving the blocker side wide open. He recognizes the gap he's producing and moves to his blocker side during the save while the puck goes low glove. That movement causes a rebound to pop out because he had to overextend, and in an attempt to recover, he throws his hand behind him in a desperate push to get back to position. While nothing happened, it is a bad habit to have brought on by initially being off angle and overcompensating for a mistake. The play is not over, however. At this point, Nabokov still hasn't engaged with the puck and is relaxed. An NHL level shooter could easily make a deceptive shot, low blocker, which would be an awkward save to make in his current position. This would likely lead to a bad rebound left out in front of the net. He's also at risk of either passing option by not being set and could be caught off guard by a quick pass down low or into the slot. The carrier holds onto it, however, and moves deeper into the zone. Nabokov finally engages and is in good position for a pass up top. It's a short and quick pass, but Nabokov mistakenly opts for a T-push that completely opens himself up. He never actually gets his feet set for the shot, and by the time the puck's at the hash marks, he's just about to get set, but is forced into making a save before he does. His momentum carries him away from the shot, and he starts to scramble and flail after the rebound comes out because of such an awkward movement. Instead of T-pushing, he should have shuffled to the mid-crease, which would have kept him square and in a much better position to make an easier save. He then wouldn't have to be off balance and scrambled after the rebound came out. In this play, Nabokov sets up to the puck off a T-push in what should have been a shuffle. This causes him to be off angle and offering up his blocker side. When the shot is made, Nabokov reacts first with his blocker, anticipating a shot there, drawing his body to his right. However, the shot goes high glove, and he's unable to react with his momentum moving the opposite way, causing a goal. In this play, he makes a long explosive T-push over, which is a good usage of the move. However, he overshoots his target because he doesn't set his feet. His momentum carries him farther out of position and leaves the far side wide open. If he had set his feet earlier, then he would have been in good position. The shot goes to his overextended right pad, prompting a bad rebound to the slot. He tracks the puck out and slides over in a good recovery to make a save. Despite it not resulting in a goal, it was unnecessary and could have been avoided. This play starts with Metallurg in possession and Nabokov relaxed. As a turnover is made, thus creating a threat, Nabokov is a little slow to initially engage the carrier. After the pass is made, he quickly makes a push over and still makes it to a decent position when the carrier is almost ready to shoot. Because he had to react so quickly, Nabokov's off angle to the moving player. But Nabokov shuffles over, tracking the player, and ends up perfectly square for the shot, where he vacuums up an easy save. This is where Nabokov has hope. Despite his angling being very inconsistent and a major flaw, he does possess good player tracking skills with shuffles when he chooses to use them, such as this play here. He shuffles to track the player, crossing the middle, staying square, and then follows up with a good T-push to track the pass and makes a nice stop. On the other hand, we have this play, where instead of shuffling shown previously, he uses mini T-pushes to track the player, which is counterproductive. Each time he pushes, he has to stop while the puck is still moving, and it keeps him out of position. While nothing bad happens in the play, it's a poor habit to have, and it is a testament to his over-reliance on T-pushes. Ilya Nabokov is a tale of two goalies. On one hand, we have the statistically dominant and consistent goalie with monster speed, athletic feats, and polished intelligence. On the other hand, we have the inconsistent, reactionary goalie with atrocious angling who gets beat cleanly more than you'd like. Finding a 21-year-old goalie in their first professional season who can put up numbers like he did on a game-to-game basis, practically unheard of. But to play so stylistically inconsistent typically doesn't go hand in hand with utter domination. In a way, it does speak to how fantastic his primary identity is. Despite having such a glaring hole in his game, he's still able to dominate both the regular season and playoffs. While the KHL is undoubtedly the second most talented league in the world, the Russian style of hockey can hide Nabokov's weakness. The players are very patient and opt to play along the perimeter. The shooters don't capitalize on the openings that he gives as much as they should. Sometimes they won't take the opening, other times they're far enough away to give Nabokov enough time to adjust or compensate during his save motion. Lots of times it creates rebounds or goals, but as we saw, he's very good in terms of rebound recoveries. At the NHL level, he won't be so lucky. The game's way faster and a lot tighter, and his shooters are better and obliterate out of position goalies. This is why Nabokov is a wild card for how he projects to the NHL. His problem is fixable, but one, it has to be identified by him or his goalie coach, and two, he has to buy into the fact that it needs to be fixed. Bad habits are notoriously hard to break, especially when you have so much success. But will that success carry over to the NHL? I think it will, eventually. There's no doubt that he's an amazing skilled goalie. His primary identity will take him to the NHL for sure because he's just that good in that regard. But unless he breaks his bad habit the next season in the KHL, he's going to have some growing pains with his start with North American hockey. I think that he will begin to adapt to the new style after getting blown up a few times because of his avoidable mistakes. He may be two different goalies in one package, but eventually his best self will win out.